Hey, what's up? This is Mike with Santa Sonia, and you're watching CMS TV.
And we are live. What is going on, everybody? It is Chris Akin back once again with another edition of Chris Akin Presents. And of course, joining me to bring you all the hijinks, we have the one, the only, the guitarist of the great Stephen Pearcy's band, Mr. Erik Ferentinos. Erik, how are you, sir?
Chris Akin, soon we'll be making another run. Chris Akin, this episode will be so much fun.
Oh my God.
Bloody boogers on lampshades and maybe some new romance. Our podcast is number one in all of the land. Hello, everybody.
Wow, I get a concert just to myself every week. This is so worth it. That's awesome. I can't believe this, if anybody else remembers the fucking Love Boat, dude.
Well, I remembered it because I know I told you this, but a lot of our listeners might not be aware. The Stephen Pearcy Band is going to be setting sail on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Look at you guys. Holy shit.
It's a paid vacation for moi.
Now that's what, next month or 2 months from now? When is that?
This is, it's how to take care of some of the business with this. It's April 28th, Friday,
Okay.
April 28th. We fly, me and my lady, Susan.
All right. Nice.
I get to take a guest on this. And
nice.
Wow, did this ever work out for me? Let me tell you.
Right.
Because I'm out of the doghouse for a while from this, because I have to say I'm not the best boyfriend when it comes to going on trips or taking your lady places, because I travel so much. I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be home. And as we've told our fans, I live at the beach. We live at a resort.
Sure.
It's like, well, where you want to go? We live at a resort. That's
right.
That's what I always say. I try to blow her off with that, trips and such. But this came up out of nowhere. It was like Stephen, we were outside having a drink actually on the balcony, and Stephen texted me. I'm like, whoa, what's Stephen saying here? And he's like, is everybody in? It's a cruise. Saxon pulled out, which he was referring to apparently the guitarist of Saxon,
Paul Quinn. Yeah.
Yes, has left the band. I know Chris knows probably all about this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, go ahead, Chris. Tell him.
No, I just gonna say it's Paul Quinn, who's one of the longest time guys. I'm not sure if he's an original or if he's just one of the longest time guys in the band. But yeah, he just kind of decided last second, well, I think I'm done touring with the band. So they put out a statement. Just saying that Paul's leaving. They're gonna finish whatever European run that they have right now, but then they're gonna retool. So. Which it's crazy that it happens right now, because like you said, they had obligations to tour, but they also they have a new record that's getting ready to come out. I have it. It's called I don't remember what it's called, something like New Revelations or something like. It's a covers record, I think. Okay. Which horrible. I haven't even listened to it yet, and I'm interviewing Biff on Thursday, Biff Byford of Saxon. Okay. So I'll get to the bottom of this thing, goddammit, on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And if people want to see that, I'm doing this new thing, dude, and we'll come back to the cruise in just a second. But we have this locals page, which is kind of like a Patreon, but it's a Patreon where I can say things. It's not censored like regular Patreon. It's like a dirty Patreon. So I have the Patreon page, and I started today just doing interviews that are exclusive to the people that are Patreons. Mm-hmm.
That's very patriotic of you.
Thank you. But I did one today with Peter Baltus of Accept fame, and he obviously was in the original incarnation of Dokken, and
interesting.
And he has a new band.
What did he do in Dokken?
He was the bass player before Juan, who was the bass player before Pilsen.
Right.
It's like way early Dokken. Like,
which I've heard that Juan didn't even play on that shit.
nah, I don't necessarily doubt it. I mean, Dokken wasn't exactly a
I think he
ball
showed up for the
band.
video, but you didn't hear that from me.
Hey, it wouldn't shock me if he did or did. Dude, back in that day, I don't know. It seemed like there was about 25 musicians, and they all just put their names on everything. They were all in that band London, and then they all put their names on everybody else's bullshit.
I can tell you something right now.
Go ahead.
That I don't think you've heard that I heard recently from a former Rat member or Mickey Rat member, Matt Thorne.
Okay.
Story from him. He and I were talking about getting 2-inch tape mastered, and he starts telling me about a neighbor of his that does that.
Okay.
And in this conversation, he mentions that basically Randy Rhoads did not write Crazy Train.
Really? Who did? Who did?
His student, his guitar student. He had a guitar student that he was teaching that had the riff da 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 do da do da do da do do da do do. And basically this kid loved Randy Rhoads. It was his teacher.
Okay.
So apparently when the song was used, he was just cool with it. He was just so happy that Randy was even using it. I don't think he ever went after it.
Sure.
Or got anything for it. This isn't the guy who dupes the tape. So this is hearing it from somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody, but I thought that was pretty
crazy. Who knows a guy.
Right. I know a guy. He knows a guy, and that guy told me he did not write Crazy Train.
Right. Nice. Well, hell, dude, in that camp, even if he did write it, it's not like Sharon would be obligated to pay him.
She probably would have had him killed. She's like, do you want to live?
Yeah,
you do.
Well, I mean,
then shut the fuck up.
I mean, she replaced those guys that actually played on the records, re-recorded them, and replaced them at one point. So, you know,
treated Jakey Lee like poopy caca.
Yeah, Jake got the shit treatment. That's for sure, no question.
Well, back on the
swing
Monsters
back to the cruise.
of Rock. You know, that sucks for Saxon. I want to say,
it does.
But it's great for me and my relationship. And so soon as Susan found out about this cruise, she was super excited.
Right.
You know,
now you told me, and we could talk about it. You told me that you have not done a cruise before, correct?
Neither of us have ever been on a cruise, but she threatens me with that. She's like, "I want to go on a cruise," and I'm like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" You know. And then this came up, which was nice because it was like, "Hey, I'll take care of you." The cruise.
Right. Well, now, why would that be a threat? Because of the cost, or because
she was just going with other friends. You know, I'm sure she would be concerned about me on a cruise,
right?
You know, and I'm sure I would be concerned about her in some way. You know what I mean? It's just normal. I think if your significant others going off on a cruise, you're going to be a little worried, you know, or something.
It's because a cruise is a hookup spot.
Sometimes I've heard of singles cruises and whatnot, but honestly, I'm happy that she's going, because if she wasn't, I would probably miss home, and you know, it's a great chance at a free vacation. Now, the only thing was I had to get a plane ticket for her. It was like, and you know, I was a little worried because plane tickets could be a lot. You know, we're going from one edge of the country to the other. We're in San Diego. We got to go to Orlando, Florida.
Right.
But because I am the traveler, I'm a traveling man, you see.
Right.
And so I had a good amount of miles on Delta, and fortunately we're flying Delta. So I got my flight itinerary last night from Jason Green. I saw it this morning. I'm like, oh shit. So I quickly got on my Delta app, and that app was so easy to use. I have to say, kudos to Delta on that. And I was able to pay for my miles and found the flights, the same flights that where the band is on. I was able to get her a ticket on the same planes. It was 45,000 miles, which was nothing. I mean, I had at least 150,000 on it. And so it was only $12. And here's this awesome getaway that would have costed, I'm sure, a couple grand if I was to take her. And so this was I'm actually getting paid to be there. So this is a win-win for everybody.
how can you lose taking your girlfriend on a cruise for the price of a Happy Meal? I mean, holy shit.
Exactly. And that's at a Happy Meal that's, at a McDonald's, not at the airport, because the airport one's like $25 for a Happy Meal.
Yeah. The airport, just everything's way expensive over there. But, well, that's cool, dude. The only thing I'm curious for you and Susan is, I wonder how much you'll enjoy it since you already live on the fucking beach.
Right.
I mean, it's not like the water is special to you.
Well, we are going to get off at this place is like some island near Haiti or something, but you made me feel better when you kind of explained what it actually is, where it's you go ahead and tell them what you told me.
Well, yeah, it's for anybody that's listening that's been on a cruise will be like, yep, this is the way it is. And anybody that hasn't, you're about to learn. When you get off at these islands, they make it sound like you're going on this exotic trip. Yeah, you're going to go to Nassau and Haiti and blah, blah, blah. And you get off the boat, and right there next to the dock, like a tenth of a mile, is basically a swap shop. And that's all it is. It's 100 people having a flea market. That's all it is. And it's geared to take the Americans' money. It's definitely not, they'll give you the, hey, man, glad to see you, man. They'll give you all the what you think is native culture because you've seen it on the fucking Love Boat,
Right.
But really, it's just a bunch of guys that are there selling you tchotchkes,
selling you stuff.
Yeah. The only time you get into any trouble on any of these cruises is if you rent a scooter or a bike or something and you take off a little bit. Because once you take off a little bit, then you're anybody's prey.
I'm so not that guy. I'll tell you, I unfortunately have watched too many episodes of Locked Up Abroad.
Right.
To those freaked me out so bad that somebody's going to inadvertently make me a drug mule and I get caught, or I don't know. Who knows what could happen? Just getting kidnapped. And I'm too scared to go. I'm a puss with that. I never adventure out anywhere.
Dude,
so
in today's world, it's not so much being a pussy anymore. Today's world, everybody does get captured or burned or killed, or you get some fucking weird serial killer that's out there that wants to cut you apart one knuckle at a time.
yeah.
It's like, no,
which reminds me of a joke I have that I want to try out on you. I tried it out on Susan. She didn't like it.
All right.
What is Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite breakfast cereal?
Captain Crunch?
Honey Bunches of Scroats. She was like, what is that?
I think I like my answer better. I think my answer was funnier. Captain Crunch. Come on, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Crunching on the bones. Crunching on the bones.
It's Honey Bunches of Scroats, Chris.
I guess you could probably use any cereal character.
No, because Scroats rhymes with oats, man.
Yeah, but Captain Crunch could be a real person.
Yeah, I guess.
I just see a box Captain Crunch, big hole drilled in the head.
This is a boat-themed episode.
That's right.
So if you ate the Captain Crunch,
there you go.
Speaking of eating weird guy stuff, I did send you a picture of something I purchased today at the dollar store. Susan and I were out of soy sauce.
Okay.
And so I headed over to the closest affordable market, if you will.
All right.
Which is the dollar store.
Sure.
Over here. And I, for $1, got the following soy sauce. Now, what was a little disturbing about it is it's made with cum.
Yeah.
You might read there. It's how do you say that?
Chun brand?
Cum chum. It's cum chum. How gross is that? I didn't even. Yeah, there you go.
Ugh.
It's made with real cum, so you know it's good. I didn't know what to think when I saw that. I almost kind of wanted to drive back.
I know what I'd have thought. Right in the garbage with this shit.
That's what I think. I'm all, I bet this is very salty.
Yeah.
I usually go for the sodium free, but if there's cum in it, it's probably a lot of salt.
Why does our rice smell like bleach? What is this? No. I don't think I could put anything called cum chun on any of my food.
Well, I'm going to try it out tonight and let you know how it is.
You'll come back next week, all 3 forms of gay, right?
I always forget what you call the Korean queef meal that we make.
Oh, kimchi.
Kimchi.
Or kimchi, or if you, the actual meal was called bulgogi, which is the beef one.
Bulgogi.
Bulgogi is beef,
Bulgogi.
and if you do it with dog, it's kagogi.
Oh my God.
It's good.
Please don't even talk about hurting animals.
It's good. Nothing wrong with it. It was tasty cuisine.
I'd rather drink cum.
Ew. You have that. I'll eat this. You can drink the cum. I'll eat Lassie. How's
You'll
that?
eat dogs.
Bring Rin Tin Tin over here on a spit. I'm ready to eat.
Well, I guess it depends how hungry I am, because I am a mean son of a bitch when I haven't.
Well, apparently you don't have to be that hungry if you're willing to drink cum, you fucking sick fuck.
Because it's bottled up and I don't have to get it straight from the source.
Yeah, really. Well, you don't have to milk it out. You like your cum processed.
That's the only way probably people would even kind of attempt to survive, right? Just like, let's just eat each other's cum. That's disgusting. I know, I'm sorry.
That is horrible.
I'm sorry, man.
This
episode, I have to remember it's a children's show.
Oh, yeah, it's sure. Yeah, because, if anything, I'm the one that's easily offended here.
Right. Usually it's you saying all the gross stuff, but today actually was this is my photo from my shopping experience today.
Wow. Cum Chun brand. Ugh. Yeah, I'd be throwing that right in the garbage.
Cum Chum, anyone?
Yeah, no. I think I'd be throwing that right in the garbage, and I'd be running out to the local Chinese or Japanese restaurant and grabbing some packets. Here, give me some packets of shit.
Sucking on some packets.
Yeah. But they don't have just regular old soy sauce where you live? I never heard of
this was the dollar store, so you get what you get.
Right.
They did have another one there, but this one was a bigger bottle, so there was more cum in it.
So since it's from the dollar store, it might very well just be fucking salty water with fucking brown dye in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's too funny.
Some raw sewage,
Yeah, could be. They dipped in from
Nagasaki fucking juice.
It's just a dipped bottle from a porta potty.
Put some radioactive Nagasaki sauce.
Look at Marty Martin in the chat room. Erik is grossing Chris out. Didn't think it was possible. Yeah, me either. That is hilarious. Well, dude, so you're going out on the we'll swing it out away from the fucking cum juice and get back to the cruise juice. You're going to Monsters of Rock cruise now. Who all is going with you? Like as far as band wise?
The only thing that was kind of a bummer that I'm finding out is Scott Coogan thought we had that time off.
Okay.
And so I think he's doing shows with Tiffany.
Okay.
And he was kind of excited that he got some work on our time off, but sadly for him, this thing just popped up.
Yeah. I think he's going to be alone now.
I think he's alone now. No, I mean, she's
sailing on the sea with you guys around.
With you guys and me. Yeah, no, but I mean, he's obviously still in the band, but unfortunately, I think for this, he's not going to be there. From what I understand, Will Hunt of Evanescence fame will be playing
Black Label,
with us.
and he's done a bunch of bands.
Yeah, he's great. So we'll still kick ass, and we're gonna kung fu kick your face.
That's right. That'll be you anytime any of these fucking schlubs on the boat try and hit on your girl. You be giving them a kung fu shot.
No, I honestly hope she makes some friends, and I hear these people all really love it. I mean, honestly, it almost sounds like a cult when they talk about it.
Oh, dude, the Monsters cruise is definitely like a cult. If you go, I have plenty of friends that go on this thing every year, and they go every year.
You'll never be the same. You'll be with us forever and ever and ever. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, it's like that. And I'm telling you, the people that I know that go on that thing every year, the one thing you can count on is when they get back, their Facebook is just packed for weeks.
Good. I hope it's of me kicking ass with the Stephen Pearcy Band.
Well, a lot of the time, it's not even the band's performing. A lot of the times, the pictures is the fans are so excited to be in close proximity to you guys.
Right.
That lots of times the pictures are, well, here's Stephen Pearcy in the casino with me, and here's Jeff Keith from Tesla, eating a sushi roll with me, and it's that. It's because they don't, regular Joes, and I don't want to turn this into elite versus non-elite or any kind of nonsense like that, but regular people, not you and me's, but just normal people that are, Joe lunch pail people. They don't
them and days.
Yeah, them and days, exactly. They don't get to mingle with rock star people ever. They are the people that even now, when you guys roll up in a minivan or something, they're at the gate yelling at you. Hey buddy, here's
Right,
my
got
view
their
to a thrill.
Stack of records to sign
Yeah,
and such.
exactly. So they're thrilled beyond compare to actually get to, and the Monsters has what, like 50 bands or something that plays it. So
There's a lot of bands. I was excited that Tesla is on there,
Yeah.
and not to spoiler alert our
No, we can't.
guests
It's
for
out there.
next week.
It's out there.
Winger.
That's right. Yeah, so you'll be
Yeah.
sailing with with two of our guests next week, because
That's right.
Kip is going to be on the cruise with you guys, and Frankie Hannon's going to be joining us next week as well as Kip Winger. So
Awesome.
it's all 80s next week on the CHRIS Aiken Presents.
That's right. It's a Monsters of Rock pre-party here at CHRIS Aiken Presents.
I'm going to wear a captain's hat next week so you guys feel at home. I'm going to get my little shaker like Isaac.
That's right.
Make you guys a couple of drinks while we do the show.
Captain Stubing is here. He's hello.
He's
Sounds
eating your
Step
ass.
Brothers. Hello.
Captain Stubing's eating Eric's ass.
I can help with this Pam dilemma. Hello.
That's right. Hello, Captain.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. We did, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago on the CMS. We did a segment about the Love Boat. I can't get enough of the fucking Love Boat.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you ever watch it or no?
Oh, it's great. What was trippy about it when you watch it back is how many stars got their start on that show.
Oh yeah, and
guest.
or how many guys that thought they were going to be stars, but their career died because they were on the Love Boat. It was like at the time they were sort of starish, like Todd Bridges or whatever. But then, like right after they did the Love Boat, then they, got in trouble, and then their career just went to shit. But yeah, I love the Love Boat. There's a channel on Pluto TV, the Love Boat channel. I ain't gonna lie, I probably watch that at least once a week.
I think I'm the same age as it was Vicky. Vicky was she had her like cousin come on the show that was like a little chick, right? And I think I was that little chick's age,
Okay.
And so I kind of crushed on her a little bit.
Sure.
I liked Vicky, of course. She was kind of short, came off kind of short-hairish, but she was still had a little thing going. And it was a good show, man. It was just one of those happy vibe shows. It never got really heavy or anything on it.
It was the nice version of Fantasy Island.
Right.
Because you had the Love Boat where they might have a little controversy at it, but they always ended up making up, and they all walked off the boat every time hand in hand. My relationship is saved, whatever. Meanwhile, you went to the Love Boat or to Fantasy Island. It's like, well, I'm going to go fuck this chick, and, I'm going to lose this chick, and because I don't want to be with her anymore. And they go through some horrible thing on Fantasy Island.
Right. Love Boat is Fantasy Island without the midgets.
Yeah, there you go. There's no plane in the Love Boat.
No.
You just show up and get on the fucking boat.
I did watch a reboot of that Fantasy Island. I couldn't get into it, man. They switched everything. There wasn't a midget anymore. The guy was a woman.
Mr. Rourke was a Mexican or something. Yeah, I watched that movie. It wasn't good at all. It was almost like a horror movie.
Well, I think it was a show they tried to actually rock there for a minute.
Oh, did they do a show too?
Yeah, full-blown Fantasy Island reboot.
I did not watch the show. I watched the movie with the guy that played on the movie that was Mr. Rourke was like the
Ricardo Montalban.
Well, it was a third tier guy from The Shield. I don't know. Did you ever watch The Shield?
Oh hell yeah, I watched The Shield. That was a great show.
Remember in like seasons like 6 and 7 that whatchamacallit, Shane had a partner named Army that was like
Yeah.
a you know,
Dick Army.
no, he was that
Is
guy.
that the
He was
worst name ever or what?
Army,
Dick
yeah.
Army.
Dick
Hi, my
Army.
name's Dick Army.
Yeah, sure is.
Fuck.
But do you remember that guy? And Shane got him to get his dick sucked while he was working out a deal and stuff in the bar with one of the criminal guys and stuff. Well, they made that guy the star of Fantasy Island. And I was like, he's not a big enough star to be a lead role in a movie, you know.
He ain't big enough to get his dick sucked. No, I'm kidding.
No, he was Army. He was a third tier character on the Shield, for God's sakes. Now, if they would have had Vic Mackey as Mr. Rourke, I could get into that, but not Army, not some fucking schlub. But of course, I remember this kind of stupid shit, right?
I don't think they've rebooted The Love Boat, thankfully. But I was thinking about it. There hasn't been one reboot of any show that was good, anywhere close to as good as the original. I don't know why they even waste time with it. They all sink in the first year.
It's because it's money. It's quick money. You can do it, and people are like, oh, yeah, like Night Court. They have the Night Court that's out there now, and that got renewed somehow for a second season.
Wow.
That show is goddamn awful. But, they rebooted it, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people my age that are like, oh, God, Night Court's back. I loved that show. Meanwhile, it has nothing to do with that show. It's really called Woke Court these days. It's just all woke adventures and just terrible. But
they do that. Every reboot is they have to shove all their agendas in. It's really something else.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's any reboot of anything. Has there really been a good reboot of anything?
I can't think of one, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think even like Nightmare on Elm Street. That was bad when they redid that. Night Court is bad. One Day at a Time, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, that's fucking terrible.
They rebooted RoboCop. That was
really terrible too. With that guy was. But if you want to watch a show, I don't know what that guy's name is, but if you want to watch a show that is fantastic, that guy is in, he did a show called The Killing, which was on for like 3 or 4 years. That show was freaking fantastic.
Is it on Tubi or what is it?
I don't know where you'd find it. I think I watched it on Netflix, maybe.
The Killing,
and it's like a dark murder mystery type thing, but it's real dark. And that guy, because I remember that's why I watched I didn't like the original RoboCop, to be honest. I know I'm one of the few that just thought that movie was dumb. But I watched it, but I didn't like it. I didn't watch RoboCop 2 or 3 or I don't even know how many they made, but I didn't dig it. And so when RoboCop the new one came out, I had absolutely no interest, other than the guy that was in it was in The Killing that I loved. So I watched it, and it was god awful.
It was also one of the last appearances of Martin Milner, who played RoboCop's dad on there. And Martin Milner, so the fans know, is his son Andy played in a band with me.
Okay.
In my first years here in San Diego. So I knew Martin. I went to his funeral and everything. Adam 12 fame. And one of his last shows he was on was that being RoboCop's dad on RoboCop in the 90s. Right. And then later he did have a fishing show that he did. And, he lived a pretty long life considering he's smoked and drank. And
well, it's because back then that stuff didn't kill you. Only now does everything kill you.
Right. Yeah, his mom, was just passed away like a year ago, and it was after she got the shot. She was still hanging in there at like whatever age she was. It was like late 80s or whatever, and she smoked the whole time. But that did her in. She got her shot and was vaxxed or whatever and passed on like a week or two later.
Sure. Dude, it is funny when you see now, not funny, but funny, ironic funny. When you see, them old timers that are like 96 years old or whatever, and they're like, I've smoked 2 packs of Cools every day for 93 years, and I'm still kicking. Meanwhile, you see people dying of natural causes at 27. It's like, yeah, sure. That's what it is. Natural causes.
Oh, they have so many scientists working on new chemicals to put in our food all the time. It's a totally different ball game than it was back in our grandparents' youths.
Yeah. Well, back then, if you ordered a steak, you actually got a steak, not something that was grown in a Monsanto lab somewhere.
Ugh, I hope I've never eaten something like that. I know I've had veggie burgers.
Yeah, I've had the veggies. You don't think that you've ever eaten like Monsanto tomatoes or anything?
It's hard to say. Today I was at a dollar store too, and I did buy some tomatoes, and it was like a bag of Roma tomatoes for $1. And I'm like, what the hell is in these? They're giving them to me for $1. They probably have like no nutritional value whatsoever.
Exactly. Well, think of it this way. It's fucking early March, and you can buy a tomato the size of a goddamn basketball. Yeah, I think that might be enhanced.
Right. Yeah, all year long that's available.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. When you get a tomato the size of a pumpkin, you know why. They don't grow like that normally, that's for sure. Nice.
So who do we got on the show tonight?
Well, we have coming up next. First, a little later in the show, we're going to have your buddy, Brandon Paul, checking in to tell us a little bit about his career and his guitar playing and whatnot. But before that, he just popped into the green room. We're going to bring him on in just a second. We've got Buzz McGrath from the band Unearth, which is a favorite of mine for the last, and I'm going to make him feel old. I'm going to feel old. For the last 22 years, I think they've been out there doing this. And I have a great story that Buzz may or may not remember of a time that we actually, me and my partner Matt, brought them into a little studio in Cleveland to play for like 8 fans for a little pre-concert thing that we did. So we'll share that with them. But regardless of if he knows that story or not, they have absolutely, I'm going to say it now, it's only March, contender for album of the year, if not album of the year in the new metal, not new metal, but the newer extreme metal category with The Wretched, The Ruinous. It is fucking fantastic. Are
we going to get to hear some of this?
We are in just a
bring
minute.
Him on? Or?
Yep, we're going to bring him on in a minute. What I'm going to do is right now I'm going to play we're going to play one quick commercial, and then we will be back. We'll play a little bit of Unearth, and we will be back with Buzz McGrath from Unearth right after this. It is CHRIS Akin Presents.